The Hellfire Caves are a network of man-made chalk and flint caverns which extend 260 metres underground. They are situated above the village of West Wickham in Buckinghamshire, South East England. They were excavated between 1748 and 1752 for Francis Dashwood, 11th Baron Le Despencer, 2nd Baronet, founder of the Dilettanti Society and co-founder of the Hellfire Club, whose meetings were held in the caves. They've been operating as a tourist attraction since 1863. Sir Francis Dashwood, the founder of the Knights of St Francis of Wickham, which was a private members club, and this is what later became known as the notorious Hellfire Club. Members of the club founded by Sir Francis Dashwood included various politically and socially important 18th century figures such as William Hogarth, John Wilkes, Thomas Potter and John Montague, the 4th Earl of Sandwich. Though not believed to have been a member, Benjamin Franklin was a close friend of Dashwood who visited the caves on more than one occasion. And club activities included numerous illicit activities including sex parties, drinking, wenching and mock rituals. According to Horace Walpole, the members' practice was rigorously pagan. Bacchus and Venus were the deities to whom they almost publicly sacrificed, and the nymphs and the hogsheads were there laid in against the festivals of this new church, sufficiently informed the neighbourhood of the complexion of these hermits. By the early 1760s the club was no longer very active and it was dissolved by 1766. A local legend claims that the caves are haunted by Suki, a young maid who was accidentally killed by people playing a practical joke on her. Others claim that the ghost of Paul Whitehead, the former steward of the Hellfire Club, has been seen in the caves. Legacy. During World War II, plans were made to use the caves as a large air raid shelter if nearby towns were bombed, but Buckinghamshire's rural position meant that High Wycombe and surrounding towns were not an enemy target, and so the plans were not carried out. During the late 40s and early 50s the caves were renovated and turned into a local visit attraction by the late Sir Francis Dashwood, who used the profit earned to refurbish the dilapidated West Wickham Park. Fire caves have more than 2.5 million visitors since reopening in 1951. The tours take visitors along passages which extend over 1/4 mile underground past a series of chambers, small to the banqueting hall, and then the so-called River Styx and the Inner Temple. This came via Wikipedia, so here we go. So welcome, it's me Adam, it's South End Guy Paranormal, and as I just explained in the intro, I've taken a bit of a trip out today to what is known as the Hellfire Caves, which is part of the Hellfire Clubs. Again, as also explained, this was one crazy place, and I've just been talking to the staff in the cafe which is situated there, and they said there's lots of going on in here. So I'm just walking in. I'm just carrying a couple of light bits of equipment because it is open to the public, so I can't really go full blown tonight or today even. And yeah, we'll just see what comes, eh? So let's get cracking. Right, so in the token we go. £7 to come here for an adult, which ain't too bad. I saw someone on TripAdvisor saying it's a bit exorbitant, but I mean, come on. This place has got to make some money, haven't they? So this is it. These are the Hellfire Caves. Look at this. This is mental. Right, I'm going to switch on me. So I'm just going to switch this on, see if we can get anything. I'm going to have a little sweep round with this first, and then I'm going to try me necrophonic app as well.
Masks and a badge with the words love and friendship.
Now, as I said, there are other people flitting around in here because it's open to the public, so I'm keeping things very
very compact today. I'm just going to let these people walk through. Off we go.
Is there literally nothing about the maths?
No, it won it last time.
This is mental, look at this. I've been told right down at the bottom of this place is where things have happened. So obviously that's where we're going to go, but we're going to do quite a bit of full tour of here. So what's in here? So I'm just going to go through with a little K2 first, and then I'll switch to probably the Necrophonic. Okay, well, the White Lady I've heard about. I think that's the one that's reportedly to have been seen as the White Lady. So let's go down deeper. Let's go down deeper and see what's here. I saw it's not my wallet.
Paul Whitehead was a minor poet and steward of the Hellfire Club. His job was to keep a record of the wine and drink consumed at Devon Abbey by the brothers. Whitehead died in 1774, leaving this rather odd bequest.
I bequeath to Sir Francis Dashwood my heart, together with £50, to be laid out in the purchase of a marble urn, in which I desire it may be deposited and placed in some corner of his mausoleum, as a memorial of its warm attachment to the noble founder.
On August 13th, 1775, Whitehead's wishes were duly fulfilled. Sir Francis led a large procession up the hill, followed by a company of the Bucks militia, a choir, and a band with fifes, flutes, horns, and a muffled drum. The urn was carried on a litter by 6 grenadiers. The procession went 3 times round the inside of the mausoleum to the music of Saul's funeral march. The urn, which you see here, was then placed in a niche, whereupon the soldiers fired a triple salute, accompanied by repeated salvos from the cannons on the frigate on the lake. For years afterwards, Whitehead's ghost was seen flitting about the place. It's certainly rather creepy down here, isn't it?
We're going to find out, shall we? Let's go. So, which way round do we go? We are here. So this actually goes right round, so we're going to go right down to the Franklin's Cave and then right down to the Inner Temple. And I think once we get here, we're going to see if anything turns up. Let's go. Now I'm keeping my EMF meter on. There's now this new one. So if anything triggers it, you'll hear it. How far down does this go? Look at this. Isn't there? Oh look, it's some MPs. Nothing changes, does it? What our current MPs are involved with, I think we can guess about what 1 or 2 are. So we're going to carry straight on down to the bottom. Still going down. Now that is actually my breath you might see going past the camera. It's nothing untoward.
And there are few cities to equal St. Petersburg, which has the best golden onions I have ever seen. The Kremlin in Moscow is full of them too. I wanted the church to present a great prospect, not the gloomy old ruin it used to be. You must climb into my golden wall and see the view. On a fine day you can see as far as Camberley, where John Norris has built a similar tower with a golden wall. We've exchanged signals from our golden walls using mirrors to deflect the rays of the sun.
What a capital notion! I have heard of heliographic lighting in the tunnels of the pyramids, but not of overland signaling. You certainly have some novel ideas.
You can still climb up the tower, and if you go to see the magnificent view,
Down we go.
very board that seats 6 people. It had to be closed because of damage by vandals.
It's hard to stay quiet because the floors are covered in gravel.
Well. Fancy running into Sir Francis and that great American friend of his, Benjamin Franklin. Franklin often stayed at West Wickham and visited the caves in 1772. He wrote afterwards to a friend, Mr. Dacor, in Philadelphia.
The exquisite sense of classical design, charmingly reproduced by Sir Francis Dashwood at West Wickham, whimsical and puzzling as it sometimes may be in its imagery, is as much evidence below the earth as it is above it. I must admit, you have some...
It goes back up again. It's going to bring us back out to where I was. We'll just... Yeah, there we go.
It is the best globe tavern ever.
Not at all, my dear Doctor. You can see the splendid buildings in Venice with their golden domes. And there are few cities to equal St. Petersburg.
So we're going to carry on going down.
The Kremlin in Moscow.
Children in the caves. Okay. So we're now there. Seeing little switches on my meter, but whether that's me moving, what's causing it, I'm not sure. So now we're coming down. There's like a bit of a mist. It's a little bit misty in here. Which is not my breath. It's an interesting smell as well. Let's have a quick look through here. Oh, duck. You got to remember people 200 years ago were a bit shorter than what we are now. So what's this say? Okay. Carry on walking round. Right, there's other people walking down here. Right, I'm going to go around because I think we might have missed a bit here. Just going to go back up. So we've now reached what is known as the banqueting hall. that's the banqueting hall. Going down now. Further down. That's where I would have come out if I'd have come the other way. What I say is, if you are, I'm 5'11", so anyone 6'1" is going to have to duck a bit down here. We go further down. So we're just about to reach the triangle. I'm probably going to do a little circle of that and then nearly the inner temple. So that's where I'm going to switch my app on and see if we get anything. So it's so dark down here. Look, I'm going to switch my light off so you can get a good idea on just how dark it is. Ready? Off we go. At this point, I'm going to switch to my other camera and let's see what we get on the infrared. Okay folks, so what I've done is just switched over to my other camera, my older Sony, which has got the infrared on it, as you can see. And we're now going to go down into the triangle, which is the miners bit, and then we're going to go down to the final bit, which is the inner temple. Let's go. So I'm literally relying on the infrared to see where I'm coming. So what we've just done is we walked around that triangle there, so now we're going to go further down. So we've then got the Miners Cave, River Styx, Inner Temple. Let's go.
There's some loose chalk in the crevice above your head back straw. You better knock it out and also trim back the edges.
Where do you want, Mr. Harris? I'll assume you should get the one pay.
Let's go.
Would you like to thank you?
Honeycomb wants more money. You never know. Might come in handy to my grandchildren, if they happen on it.
Not until it's all finished. Then maybe we'll have some at the end.
Some
So this is where we're going
1820
next, down here.
were found in 1973 in a crevice in the banqueting hall. They dated from 1714 to 1754, which suggests that chalk was being dug from the old quarry at the entrance.
Now my lens actually got a bit misted up, so I'll set to clean it quickly. Now don't worry, that's just me, I'll turn my EMF meter back on again. So we're going further down into the Miners Cave.
Sticks and crowbars for dislodging the chalk, which is extremely hard. An architect or mason was in charge of the work. The chalk blocks and rubble were then carted away in wheelbarrows and tipped into carts.
There's some loose chalk in the crevice above your head rackstraw. You'd better knock it out and also trim back the edges.
Right you are, Mr. Harris. I'll soon shift it with my pick.
So I'm not actually allowed down that bit.
You're making a nice job of this cave.
I'm going to want some more money. You never knows. Might come in handy to my grandchildren, if they happens on it.
Not until it's all finished. Then maybe we'll hide some at the end.
Some 18th century coins were found in 1973. They dated from 1714 to 1754, which suggests that chalk was being dug from the old quarry at the entrance to build new houses in the village before the caves were started. But more chalk may
It looks like my
subsequently
journey's
be
been
needed
cut short.
on the road to Oxford. If they did hide some coins, they haven't been found.
That's really
Perhaps
frustrating.
It's like the secret passage to the church.
Okay.
There's no sign of that either, although there is a hidden opening sealed with chalk blocks, possibly for safety reasons.
So it looks like most haunted have already been here. I wonder how many times Yvette Fielding screamed and Derek thought he picked someone up.
The chalk blocks and rubble
Let's put that in
were
there.
then carted away in wheelbarrows
Yeah.
and tipped into carts.
I'll leave that one there. Right.
There's some loose chalk in the crevice above your head rackstraw. You'd better knock it out and also trim back the edges.
Right you are, Mr. Harris. I'll soon shift it with my pick.
That will do nicely, thank you. You're making a nice job of this cave.
I'm going to want some more money. You never knows. Might come in handy to my grandchildren.
Okay, I can only come as far as here, so there's any spirits who want to come up this
It's all
cavern,
finished. Then maybe
come and
we'll
trigger
hide
my
some
alarm in my
at the
hand.
end.
If there's anyone here that would like to come and
Some
talk to me,
18th century
you can
coins
set off
were found in
the device in my hand
1973 in a crevice in the back.
and give me an idea anyone's here. They
They
like to
dated
communicate.
From 1714 to 1754. If they did
What
hide
looks like's
some
happened,
coins, they haven't been found.
yeah, they've actually shut off the
Perhaps
bit
it's
that
like
goes
the
further
secret
down into
passage
the
to
inner
church.
temple.
There's
So,
no sign of that either.
It's a bit,
Although there is
unfortunately, I
a
cut a
hidden
little bit short
sealed with
here
chalk
because I really
blocks,
want to get down there and see
possibly
what's
for safety
actually
reasons.
occurring. What I'm going to do, I'm going to find out when that's likely to reopen and we'll come back for that. So what I'm going to do now is head back to the banqueting hall and I'm going to try a little session in there and see if anything comes through. Stay tuned and see what happens. So I've just switched on my ghost tube out
The
and
men used picks
we're gonna see what
and
this can pick
crowbars
up.
for dislodging the chalk, which is extremely hard.
that's interesting.
An architect or mason was in charge of the work. The chalk blocks and rubble
Make no
were
mistake.
then carted away in wheelbarrows and tipped into carts.
It ain't that.
There's some loose chalk in the crevice above your head rackstraw.
The only thing-
You better
there's only
knock
one or
it
two
out
things that can
and
do
trim
that.
back the edges.
One is there's a lot of
Right you are, Mr.
metal
Harris.
just here.
I'll soon shift it with my pick.
Or there's something else.
That will do nicely, thank you. You're making a nice job of this cave.
I'm going to want some more money.
Interesting.
You never knows. Might
Right.
come in handy to my grandchildren, if they happens on it.
Not until it's all finished. Then maybe we'll hide.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a walk back to the.
Century coins were found in
We're going to take a walk back to the banqueting hall.
in the banquet hall. It dated from 1714 to 17.
Sometimes when that goes off like that, there might be something on the recording. So I'm going to go back over the ghost tube out and see if there's any EVPs. Any spirits that are in here, you're quite welcome to come and talk into the boxes in my hand.
Europe.
Europe. Thank you. So who said that then? You can come and talk into this box and it will tell me later on. Okay.
Heaven.
Heaven. I don't think, well, it's not for me to judge.
The men used picks
Now, just, so if you can just see that, my magnometer is actually quite high.
architect or mason was in charge of the work. The chalk blocks and marble were then carted away in wheelbarrows.
I know it's a cave, but I'm really warm. It's probably because of all the walking I've been doing in here.
There's some loose chalk in the crevice above your head, Rextor.
Alright. Any spirits that are in here, I'm going to walk back to the banqueting hall. I'm inviting you to follow me there and no further. Christopher. Okay, Christopher. Anything more you can tell me, please feel free to talk into the box in my hand. Tell me anything you like. So going up. Janet. I don't quite think there was any Janets here at the time, but hey ho. So, it's interesting to know that the Magnolia has now gone down. So it just smells in here. Right. We are now back in to the banqueting hall. Having the music in here is a bit annoying. It's got to be saying. I know it's for the atmosphere and everything. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch to the Necrophonic app and see what we can get to come through on there. Any spirits, energies or entities that are here, I'm inviting you to come and talk with me. However, you cannot attach yourself to me, my equipment and my possessions, and you are not allowed to follow me home. Thank you. All right, let's just go. Is there anyone here? Anyone here connected with the Hellfire Club? Could you give me a name, please? Thank you. Do you haunt these caves? Can you tell me what happened to you, please? I think I got dead. Right. How many spirits are in here, please? Can you tell me how many spirits are in here, please? What happened to any women that was in here? Was there any women that was brought down here for anything? About any children? Can you tell me anything that happened in here, please? Is there any messages that you have for us? Did I hear devil? Was a devil brought here? Any demons here at all? I think I heard a yes. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us? Devil again. Sure, I just heard devil again. Right, I'm going to leave it right there. But we will be coming back here, no doubt about that, when the inner temple's open. To all spirits, energies and entities that have contacted me here, I would like to thank you. I would like to thank you for your communication. Just to remind you, you cannot follow me home, attach yourself to me, my equipment or my possessions. Thank you. Alright, so there we have it for the moment. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to come back here when that cave is open. When I do a tour, hopefully we'll have the music off. Let's hope so anyway. So I'm going to walk out the cave. I'm going to continue to have the Ghost Tube app on, see if I can pick up anything else. Obviously I'm not going to do that now, apart from what comes through on the dictionary, but obviously when I go for the edit, that's when I can hopefully hear things, as you know before. So, right, we're going to take a walk out, and we'll see if we can pick up anything else. Let's hit record. Married. Married. Any ceremonies take place in here? Feel free to talk into the box on my hand. It's weird that he said married, because this is up here, which I know I've already been to. It's interesting that come up when this is here. All right, let's just carry on. Okay, Magnometer's just gone off again. So we're walking back up. I've just been taking a couple of little pictures.
And there are few cities to live in St. Petersburg, which has the best golden pancakes I have ever seen. The Kremlin Mosque is full of food. I wanted the church to present a great prospect.
So now on the exit.
It used to be. We must climb into my golden wall and see the view. On a fine day, you can see as far as Canberra, but at one point, it is similar to the golden wall. We must change the size of our golden wall using mirrors to deflect the rays of the sun.
In the tunnels of the pyramids, but none of overland signaling. You certainly have some knowledge.
Hello. Is it due to this? That could be. So there's some metal bits sticking out the wall there. I'm just coming out now.
So that brings a conclusion to my first visit to this fascinating place. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned as there's more to come from the Hellfire Caves. Thanks very much for watching. See you on the next one. Bye bye.